So we are going to have 16 regional results plus the headquarters, making it 17. We'll sum them up, and that becomes the total for the whole country.
So we see the agents of the various candidates here. Do they confirm the result before you input them onto the final coalition?
When it comes, we project it here. You have seen it. So we project it for them to see. If they have any issue, they will say. If they don't, then we put it on the coalition. Then I will go to the figures with them.
Are you able to tell us how long this whole process is going to take?
On when the results will come from the regions. I don't know what is happening at the region, so I cannot speak when I'm not aware what is happening at the region. So when they come, we'll also sum them up.
All right. Thank you very much. And so Dr. Srebo is a deputy EC commissioner here at the EC headquarters, trying to help us understand the whole process and how it's going so far. Figures coming from the regional coalition centers of the EC, which will finally be collated here at the EC headquarters, and then the declaration will be made. So we are still here at the headquarters, as in when we get new regional figures, we'll run them by you. Over to you in the studio.
All right, thank you very much, Maurice. So that was Maurice Ogbete from the Electoral Commission's Coalition Center, where they are putting the data together. First of all, regional basis, after which the entire results will be put together at the national front for us to get to know exactly what's happening. So we have access actually to the Coalition Center at the Electoral Commission's office here in Accra. If you're just joining us, this is our coverage of the presidential primaries of the New Patriotic Party. We started this morning at 8, but voting started at 7. And then we've taken you through the various voting centers when everything started, picking reports across the entire country and making sure that we let you into exactly what's happening, what has been happening so far. 2 o'clock voting ended, counting underway at some constituencies. Some constituencies are done with their counting, and even a coalition for that matter too. Results, of course, declared too. But as it's supposed to be, and as it's actually going to work, this will be done at the various regional levels and per the guidelines that were actually issued by the election committee of the New Patriotic Party. Actually states that when all of these things are actually done, it will be sent to the main coalition center where Maurice finds himself. So if we go to section 4 of the guidelines for this particular exercise for the New Patriotic Party, it says that ballots will be counted and results announced immediately after the close of polls at each voting center. And then B, presiding officers at the voting center will announce the voting center results and get a copy of the results forwarded to the Presidential Election Committee. And now all agents shall sign the declaration form. D says that failure of an agent to sign the results will not invalidate the announcements by the presiding officer. And then E says that the presiding officer at the voting center shall submit the constituency results to the Electoral Commission headquarters for coalition, of which Maurice actually took us through that particular aspect. Now, when it comes to the coalition of the NPP presidential primaries at the Electoral Commission's head office, this is what is expected. It takes us to section 47.1. Says that the results of the presidential election from each constituency shall be collated first at the Electoral Commission's regional offices. And then 48 says that each contestant with would either be represented by himself or his accredited agents. 2 of such agents at the coalition center at the Electoral Commission's headquarters. And then section 49 says that after the coalition, the EC shall officially declare the results at the NPP headquarters and in Asalam Down, Accra. All contestants are invited to be at the party head office for this particular purpose. And then the returning officer and one of the contestants' agents at the coalition center will jointly sign the results. So this is what is actually expected at the coalition center for the NPP presidential primaries at the EC's head office in Asalam Down. And we've got an update on that coming from Maurice Ogbete on that particular note. We have some bit of data to actually project for you on the screen, some bit of infographics to project for you on the screen. When we get that ready, we'll just get you to know through that one. But I guess I'm still here with us. All right, so these are some of the results that we have So far, these are some of the results that are actually coming in. Asin Central constituency. Dr. Mungbranya 16, and then Kennedy Japan polling that figure there. This is Ayawaso East. These are all provisional data, provisional figures actually coming in, which makes up of the earlier data I talked about, which says that about 23 constituencies are actually left for the final data to be whole. So these are some of the provisional results we're getting. This is Boko Central constituency, and those are the figures you have there on your screen. This is Binduri. I always enjoy the pronunciation of this place. And then this is Bolibamboy constituency, and those are the figures you have in there. Usefri Akoto and Dynamo. Ratu, Efri Akoto, has he done much better compared to what he did in the Super Delegate?
Oh, I think it's just around. I think he got some 3% here. And this is around 1%.
Yes, he's just around 1%.
So it's just around 1%. So it's not, if you are using it as against super delegates, percentage-wise, he did better in the super delegates
what about
election. It's equally, he also made some around the same figure, but it looks like rejected ballots is trying to take a shine from the thing. But see, this also comes to also bring to fore when a party is in government. Expectations also can play a role. So the moment there's that perception that a candidate is an establishment candidate, some protest votes, because people work during opposition and expect certain things. So all these things, I mean, now we are just seeing figures, but knowing the New Patriotic Party, a lot of analysis will go into this data and will come out even better. But we can overemphasize the fact that we have shown class, and it's a victory for the NPP.
Okay. Dr. Awa, first of all, Osifri Akoto, what do you make of what he's showing?
Well, I think that voters had looked at his previous performance, and perhaps the indications are that they didn't see him to be a strong force. And if you are not a strong force, why do we waste our vote on you? So they decided that the vote that previously was given to him should either go to Ken or His Excellency. Yeah, and that's what we are seeing today. It's just it's rational thinking that if I'm supporting George for a certain competition from round one, I see that he's not measured to the expectations I had, so the results are showing. If there is an opportunity for a second half where a decider will be made, I would rather look for a winning team, and that's what we have seen in this contest.
Okay, and then at Dynamo?
The same.
Okay, all right. Okay, Rasu,
yes.
if you look at the trends here, I mean, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, I mean, in his first primaries ahead of the 2016, he made, I think, over 80%. He got over 80% of the votes.
No, his first primaries.
No, I mean ahead of 2016. Before 2016.
Oh, before 2016.
When
okay.
he won the 2016.
So that's after 2007.
Yeah, 2007. So that's around, I think, 2012.
So 2012, 2014.
2014, yeah. Yes. He got more than 80% of the votes. That had Alan Tremontin and all that. And then when he was going for the 2020, I mean, he was the only person. So it was obvious that he was going to get the nod straight up to that point. Is there a lot of pressure on Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to do same? I mean, the percentage-wise, to get that kind of party support.
When you do the analysis minus 2007, you get it wrong. We are having a similar situation like we had in 2007.
Okay.
So 2007, Mr. Alan Tremontin was seen as an establishment candidate.
Yes.
And that was after the first 8 years of NPP since 1992. No, but the perceived establishment candidate then couldn't make it. Even with that, the perceived non-establishment candidate, who was also a minister within the administration, couldn't make it past 51%. But the only difference in this dynamics is we have a sitting vice president who has kept faith with the party. So you had him through opposition until we won in 2016, and he proved himself. So he's a man. And if you also realize, when he was going around the country, he kept to party unity. He restrained himself from giving certain responses. The only time you heard him responding was when it had to do with things that go against party rules, that goes against rules in this country. And that was when he was accused of giving monetary gifts to delegates to present. He responded to that one. But at every point that he went to, he pushed unity. He pushed moving forward. You know, try to balance, manage people's expectations. And that is what is showing in this results, if you ask me. But with all this that has happened, when you do the trend, any political watcher who has been following things, and that also tells you the difference between NPP delegates and our compatriots in the NDC.
What's the difference?
You can't just whip people in NPP line. You can't.
Oh, really?
You just don't come out and say this is establishment candidates and everybody follows. People listen to what candidates say. People go with what the best interest of the party will be. But whenever a party is in power, there's some level of apathy depending on the level we manage expectations. So all those dynamics come to play. So if you don't look at it holistically and you go, okay, you might miss it. But that clearly tells you the difference between the NPP and our compatriots.
But I mean, comparatively, you think it's not going to take, it's not going to put any pressure on Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to make a similar showing compared to what President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo did? I think that was in 2014 when he had about 94%.
Nana Addo didn't make 50 plus 1 when we were in power. It was in opposition.
Okay.
So the dynamics are different.
Everybody was in power.
Yes.
That was in 2020.
Yes.
I mean, he was virtually, it was just an acclamation because nobody contested him.
No, when we're in power.
After the 20...
No, we're in opposition. So the dynamics are not the same.
I'm just saying that after you won 2016,
yes,
and then the 2020 elections,
yes,
obviously you are going to elect a leader again. But he
no, but when you also go into the general elections,
yes,
after in the 2008 election, how many times did we go? 3 times.
3 times.
Time
yes,
was the third one.
Yes.
It was obvious you put up a good show.
Okay.
Who gets rid of a winning candidate?
Okay.
So obviously, that's what I'm telling you. Delegates in the NPP look at the best interest of the party, not just who is assumed as a presumptive candidate.
Okay, all right. But I mean, same question. Compared to, is there any pressure, would there be any pressure on Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to make a similar showing compared to what Nana Addo did when, I mean, I agree with Laura too, when they were in opposition and had over 90% of that particular vote from the delegates moving into the 2016 election. That virtually made him win.
Well, clearly so. He's the sitting vice president. He's been in government for, this is the 2nd term. So clearly there will be some expectations from his constituents, that's the NPP. And also so that when he wins, he would have to come against the National Democratic Congress. So clearly there's some level of pressure, and then how he manages it would reflect after this election.
Okay, all right. Like, I mean, well, there's one thing we've all agreed to here, that it's going to be very difficult for him to cross the 75% back, looking at what is happening so far.
Yeah.
So we are waiting to see exactly how things will turn out. But some a bit of a data coming in here. This is fully from the voter region. Data fully from the voter region. Kenofrata, fully from the voter region. And this is from the EC. 5,850 5,850. That's the Kinofurata. No. Kennedy Japan, forgive me. Kennedy Japan, 5,850.
I'm sure you are thinking about money.
Are we all thinking about money? Kennedy Japan, 5,850. And then Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, 4,984. This is from Volta region. And Friakoto, 115. Dynamo, 66. Rejected ballots from the Volta region, 141. That's a lot, you know. So from the Volta region, Kennedy Japan got the bigger share there, 5,850. I'm just doing some bit of trends in here based on the figures going so far. Well, I realized that Kennedy Japan did very well along the coastal lines. Just wondering what exactly, because looking at his campaign and the runs he's been going, he's been talking, you know, he says he has the biggest school store, I think in West Africa, so, and he's matching to some of these things. I was just wondering whether these were some of the things that the delegates looked at, because he did pretty much well along the coastal lines.
I think a lot of his campaign centered around agriculture.
Yeah.
And then he had shown evidence that he himself comes from a coastal region. And that he's also invested in agriculture, especially fishery, over time.
Yeah.
So given the nod, it's not a path that he's yet to try on. It's a path he's already on, and that he can use his previous knowledge and networks to leverage that for business owners in the agri sector. We saw that give him some grounds, especially this morning when we're looking at his footage. He made very emphatic statements relative to the Volta region, and that he feels that with the water bodies around the Volta region and then their proximity to the airports, that he thinks that the Volta region is situated in an environment where they can benefit a lot from the agricultural sector. So I think these perhaps are some of the things that have given him a lot of leverage in the Volta region, and also Central.
And also Central, yes.
And also
because
Central.
surprisingly, in the Super Delegates Conference, Central wasn't so much welcoming to him and all that. So he doing that well in the Central this time around. You know, he had to issue some threats in quotes in here that, well, don't vote for him and all that. When it comes to the parliamentary primaries, you actually show them do and let them know that, yeah, he's around. Are some of these utterances did he actually work in his favor? Because he was really tough and he went all out sometimes on these delegates and all that.
Well, it depends largely on what he has or has not done for them in the past. Now, George, if I tell you that if you don't ask me specific questions, I'll deal with you. What do you lose if I say I'll deal with you? Clearly, if I have no control over you, my threats will be deemed empty. But in the case of Ohene Japan, the question is, has he been helping them in the past? And if he has been, the threat perhaps would have influenced those votes for him. Knowing also within the Ghanaian political space that he's touted to be a generous person, one who pays school fees, one who takes care of medical bills, one who creates employment for others, one who even gives when there is no cause. Clearly, if there are constituents who have benefited from him and he feels that they are not reciprocating, then threats would be what? Working or inuring to his benefit. And perhaps that is what we have seen in this election.
All right. Narrative.
Yes.
Has this tough talk and all that actually worked out for him?
For me and the little that I know, like I said, the average Ghanaian is conservative. The average NPP person may enjoy the tough talk, but they're also looking at the bigger picture. You know, we've been there before. There have been people who have been marketed on the basis of humility. So if you also compare his tough talk to his main contest, which is the vice president, his demeanor, his approach and all that also made a difference. So it's not always that, because people are also looking at it. Is this how a president should conduct himself. You know, people look at all those things. And apart from you appealing to your party based on what the sentiments are within the party, you also need to look at the bigger picture. Will this be appealing? Is this NPP? Is this how the NPP is supposed to be marketed? So all those things come to play.
All right, let's look at another side of this whole conversation. I mean, after this particular exercise, it's going to be the parliamentary primaries also for the party. Dr. Awal, with what is happening now, it's not yet done though, but our provisional figures, and we all know who's ahead. The vice president is ahead, but Kennedy has actually taken some bit of, actually showed up actually in this entire exercise. Is it going to be telling in the parliamentary primaries, so that's also going to go off after this particular exercise?
I do think so. Now, anyone who emerges as the flag bearer and then is expected to have a certain grasp over what happens in the primaries, because he leads the political party. Now, it is more true when the one who wins the election wins overwhelmingly. But in an instance where it appears that the second force is also close, then it's very difficult to drift the minds of political actors within the constituencies towards giving individuals. And that is where I see the challenges of the NPP is likely to begin.
You know, Kennedy Japan actually, again, issued out some threats to some members of parliament. And he said that, well, those who do not support him in this particular quest to become the flag bearer of the party, when he gets to, I mean, the members of parliament who did not support him, when he gets to the parliamentary election, you also show them that, well, quote unquote, show them a showdown.
Yeah, you know, the political enterprise is not religion.
Is that what a religion?
It's not. Yeah.
Why'd you say that?
Yeah, in religion, I can you can hurt me. I know George has hurt me. I say, I have forgiven you.
Okay.
But this is an enterprise that is not easily so. To the extent that you think Alan Chamantin would get out of the political party because he's peeved, will tell you that in politics, the pain is not momentary. Sometimes it transcends time. And within that time, if it's not managed very well, vindictiveness comes into it, revenge comes into it, and all other negatives that you may want to think of. So if Ken has made threats, it is not just out of the blue. Clearly, when he had a bid, he expected some caliber of people to support him. Now they did not support him, and he has come out, not humiliated, although perhaps he may not win, but he comes out being triumphant, sorry. Clearly, if he has the power to do to you what you did to him, it is not one of ensuring that you win. It's one of supporting your opponent to win against you, so that opponent's loyalty will now be with him for his future ambitions. And that is how the enterprise of politics is run. So I do feel that whatever the outcome, it does appear to me that His Excellency Mahmoud Bawumia would win.
Yeah.
But comparatively, Ken would come out feeling proud and bold about his performance. And then that will not give His Excellency Mahmoud Bawumia so much grips over the party, like it would have been if he had won overwhelmingly. And that is where I think the challenges perhaps of the NPP will begin towards their bid to break the 8.
But also, at least, he can also find a way of just bringing everybody on board. If he gets Ken on his side and tries to actually let him play a key role in there, I mean, he can still have control over the party.
Yeah, that will depend largely on how they manage the outcome of this political enterprise, and whether, as we sit here and then issues are managed by the security forces, whether there are no spots that have happened in constituencies that are pointers to the fact that one party is happy or unhappy. Because you recall that not too long ago, there was a similar, the Superdelegates Congress, and that, because of the way things were managed or mismanaged, led to Alan getting out of the political enterprise. So it would depend largely on how the outcome of this election is what managed, whether Baumia and then Alan would come together to work, because I saw footages of where His Excellency Baumia was.
Baumia and Kennedy?
Yes, sorry, and Kennedy. I've seen footages of a meeting where His Excellency Baumia shook hands, got to Kennedy, skipped, and then went to other persons.
Really?
Where?
Yeah, so it's a certain video.
Oh no,
really?
but just the recent one was the pictures. Not even sharing.
I think the recent one they actually.
Okay,
So then that's belated.
Okay, all right. So it's just to tell you that there are hidden fractures that, if not mended, can cause what? Future challenges for the political party. We cannot assume that at the end of a political enterprise, everybody will be happy.
Yeah.
Clearly, there would be spots that would need to be cleaned. And if that cleaning is not done well, I envisage there will be challenges.
Okay, all right. Ratu, same. Is it going to tell in terms of the parliamentary primaries? Look at what has happened so far. Because it looks like Kennedy has got inside of control.
We've seen what not having a clear majority has done to efforts of us being in government. We are poised.
Parliament not
yes, Parliament has. I mean, definitely the legislature has oversight over the executive. So if your policies are sound, whatever you take there is being pushed because you don't have a clear majority. It makes governance difficult. You saw what we went through trying to pass e-levy and all the other revenue raising measures. But whichever way, I don't think after this anyone will be going against anyone. Definitely, we all have preferences. We are now going to go into primaries for fan constituencies. Then from December, the process for sitting MPs will start. We'll have preferences. Even in 2020, there were some key sitting MPs who lost their primaries. Also, election, it doesn't, it's not the preserve of only one person. I don't think Honorable Kennedy Japan will be looking at NPP not having majority in Parliament. He's worked towards these things, and I don't think, I mean, in a contest, you get paid when you've helped somebody and you think that it should help you. At the end of the day, like Doc said, it's you don't have control over people's loyalty in this business, and it's not a religion. You look at the times, the seasons, and who best. I don't think you'll be seeing a candidate who can clearly win a seat for the NPP and say, because you didn't support me. And even with this, how are you going to tell who voted for you or who voted against you, unless you're going to victimize the whole constituency? But in all this, the victory is for the New Patriotic Party. After what happened at the National Council, with His Excellency the President, the Council of Elders and all, you saw the joy, you saw the friendship. We may not be, but we don't necessarily need to be buddies to push the same cause. You know, so it's a victory for the NPP. The biggest victory is the class we've shown how peaceful this has been, how seamless this has been. And we have to congratulate everyone who has been part of the process. The party leadership, whoever has been involved in it, the media, for helping carry this through. It's a victory for the NPP. And we need to learn the lessons out of this and forge ahead in unity.
All right, let me just pick my last straw in here, that we can see if we can just go for a quick break and get more information coming with. Dr. Who has actually benefited from Alan's absence in this entire process? Dr. Baumia, Kennedy Japan. Who has benefited? It
does appear to me Kennedy has been the key beneficiary. Clearly, you will see it in Ashanti region, where he's won a few of the constituencies. Beyond that, in some of the constituencies that he had very little figures in the Superdelegates Congress, you would see some level of improvement. Yes. So I feel that he has been a major beneficiary of this, the breakaway of Alan. And I don't think it came by chance, it came by work, because apart from him, Efri Okoto was also there, Adainimo was also there. They didn't leverage on the absence of Alan so much. So I feel that Kennedy has put in a lot of work. he and his team, and then they should be applauded for the gains that they are getting now.
All right. Number two, who has also benefited from Alan Chaman's absence?
So if you look at the polls and all the discussions, I think it's been dependent on the region. Because when you look at some of the polls, the undecided has really made an impact in this election. It looks like there's no clear beneficiary. If we do a proper analysis of the regional votes, it may be clear, but looking at it on the nationwide, it's like benefits cut across different.
I mean, even all the candidates?
Come again?
All the
No, the two fronts.
Runners, but at least one would have benefited more than the other.
We have to do a proper analysis based on regional basis. But looking at it, I don't think it was only one candidate benefited.
But has Alan been missed in this entire success?
Come again?
When you say missed,
if
he had been part, would it have actually generated
probably, if you look at it, the trend has not deviated so much from what happened during the delegates, special delegates conference. So probably you'd have been third. But looking at the way rejected ballots too is going, you never know.
All right. So you stay with us. We'll go for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with analysis, and hopefully by the time we just get back, we'll get more data coming your way, and then have a final conclusion to this entire exercise. We don't know how far that is really going to take, because we've moved into about 8 minutes past 5, and that is the time. The expectation is that by close of day, maybe later in the evening, we might have a full declaration, and then we can say bye-bye to you based on our coverage. But for now, stay with us here on GTV, live on GBC News 2, and we're getting you everything you need to know concerning the NPP presidential primaries that is coming off, and to elect a presidential candidate for the New Patriotic Party ahead of the 2024 elections. As we speak, coalition is ongoing at the various Electoral Commission regional offices, and then subsequently those regional results and data will be sent to the national office here of the Electoral Commission in Asalam Down, and then the final declaration will be done by the Electoral Commission at the offices of the New Patriotic Party to know exactly who is going to become the flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party ahead of the 2024 general elections. But as we speak now, the Vice President, Dr. Bawumud Bawumia, is in the lead, followed by Kennedy Japon, and then Dr. Free Akoto, and then Adainimo. Well, it looks like rejected ballots is somewhere there in the third position, though, unofficially, I would say, because there are a lot of figures and a lot of numbers actually of votes that have been rejected based on certain ways that delegates failed to vote. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
in terms of the regional breakdown. So I'll just move to our screen, and pretty much the same as we've done in a few hours ago, to give you a pictorial experience of what the numbers are looking like. On the face value, it looks very much like the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is in a commanding lead. Not surprising, the polls picked him to come second, and so Honorable Kennedy Ejapong appears to also be living up to the predictions that the pollsters made. Dr. Owusu-Efiri Yakoto and Mr. Francis Adainimo are continuing in the order in which they appeared on the ballot paper, with former Agric Minister in third, and then the engineer, Mr. Francis Adainimo, in fourth place. So this is a regional picture or an outlook of what the current situation is. So on the final score. So I'll take you through some of the details as we are seeing on our screen. I must say that these are provisional results that we've collated here at GBC News, and we are bringing them to you. So the result as we have it is pitting Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia at 61.67% of total votes cast across the country. And this is what the numbers mean. It means that 113,815 out of the votes that we have so far, total votes of 184,541 are in his favor. 113,815 of votes so far have gone to Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So let's go to the MP from Asin and give you also a feel of what we understand his numbers are looking like, pitting him at 37.14%, meaning that the poll, the votes, as we are seeing them, mean he got 68,537 out of the total votes across the country as we have it. Provisional results, like I keep saying, as we have collated, he's taken 68,537 out of this total number of votes on the screen. So Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia here, and the Honorable Kennedy Ejapong following with 37%. Let's see how the former Agric Minister is performing. The number of votes he has received so far, his percentage is at 0.77%. Our results, provisional results, show from what we've collated so far that out of that number of votes counted across the country, the former Agric Minister has polled 1,423. 1,423 is the figure that voted for the former Agric Minister, which put him at 0.77% of the total number of votes we have collated provisionally on right here in our studios. We are saying that the total number that we have collated, provisional result, is 184,541 votes. So former Agric Minister, 0.77%. So let's move Mr. Japong up and put, so we can see how Mr. Adainimo is also doing. I put him dead in the center. According to the provisional results that we have put together, the engineer has polled 0.42% of the total votes cast across the country. It means that per our calculation, he's got so far 766 votes from all the centers which voted, and the total number of votes remain unchanged by our provisional collation statistics. 184,541 is our total number of votes here. So our provisional results we are sharing with you that we have also collated. So on the national level, this is what it pretty much looks like. Former the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is in the lead. The Asin Central MP is following in a close second. So I can put this one up here. Following second, Dr. Efiri Yakoto appears in the 3rd place, and then the engineer, Mr. Francis Adainimo, is at number 4. We have not created a space for rejected ballots, but there's quite a few that have gone into it as well. So like I said, from the provisional results that we have collated here at GBC News, based on the information that our correspondents across the country sent us, we put these numbers together, and that's what it looks like on a national scale. A number of numbers have gone round from the constituency level to give you an idea of how each constituency voted, but we'll give you a regional breakdown of what all these constituency results mean, so that we can figure out which regions really voted for which candidates and how the candidates fared in each particular region. So let's begin to make those assessments, and I'll start from the top of the country. All right, so I'll just select Upper West region, and we get an idea of how the region worked. So Upper West as a region, not as any one specific constituency. So all the constituencies that voted in Upper West, this is what the tally came to. So our provisional results from the Upper West region, the constituencies within that region, is what you are seeing on your screen. No surprises there. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia are very much in the lead from this region. No surprise also, Mr. Kennedy Ejepong in 2nd place, Dr. Usu Efri-Yakoto, and then Mr. Francis Adainimo. So this is what Upper West region voted for. So number 1 on the ballot paper, the Honorable Kennedy Ejepong, this is what he polled in Upper West region, out of a total of what we have provisionally collated. The total number of votes we are collating for the Upper West region is 6,220. So these are the numbers that we got. We are working with that number for this particular region. Out of that, the Honorable Kennedy Ejepong got 1,089, representing 17.51% of all the total votes that we have collated, putting him in 2nd place. The Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, took the commanding lead in that region, coming up 78.42%. Out of, again, our provisional results for the Upper West region, the total number of votes for the Upper West region that we have on our books for now is 6,220. Dr. Bawumia took 4,878 of those votes out of the total that you can see on your screen. That put him at 78.42%. Dr. Owusu Efri-Yakoto, the former Greek minister, polling 2.83%, 176 votes out of 6,220 is what the former Agric minister got in the Upper West region. We'll go over now to the Electoral Commission. We understand that there is an address. The Electoral Commission boss is giving a statement. Let's go hear what is breaking there now.
In the NPP, the nitty-gritty of it. So, we have risen above board. I think ours is to ensure that we are very professional, very efficient in the conduct of the elections. And so far, from the results, the reports that we've received from the field, our officers have distinguished themselves creditably. And so, we are pleased with what we've seen so far coming from our officers and the way they've conducted these elections. Thank you. Yes.
Madam Mensah, you're also live on Ghana television. I saw you receiving the briefings from Mr. Sribo Kwaku. Exactly what will you make of the process thus far? We're getting results from the Regional Coalition Center, about 9 of them so far. What do you make of the process?
I think the process has been very transparent, it has been efficient, it has been seamless. I'm sure that you are aware that at the start of the day, there were a few areas where the register did not contain the names of some delegates, the MMDCs and some MPs. But, I think some agreements were reached and those specific persons were allowed to proceed to cast their vote. But, we've received quite a number of reports from the ground, and from our directors on the field, and so far things seem to be going very well. It's been smooth, it's been seamless, and more importantly, it's been largely violence-free, and so we are happy with that, and we are pleased that our officers have distinguished themselves creditably and have been very professional in the conduct of these elections.
What will you say the collaboration between you and the party officials has been like towards this particular election and even in the heat of the election?
Well, very early on, we had a team from the commission, which worked closely with the team from the NPP. We have, of course, the Electoral Services Department, and Dr. Srebo and his team worked with the Elections Committee of the NPP. We presented them with our guidelines because, as you know, the EC has its own codes and guidelines by which it abides by. And so these were discussed, that if we are to conduct the elections, then we have to have certain standards. And of course, the NPP also had their guidelines. And then we had extensive discussions on these guidelines and came to some agreements. So those agreements are what governed this election. And I believe, a lot of discussions were held, and there was consensus on all the key issues before we moved to the field, before we moved to today. So the collaboration has been smooth, it has been professional, and it's gone well.
You have been doing this for some time now. What will you say are some of the lessons you have learned from this particular election, and how is that going to help subsequent primaries for both parties?
I think the register has to be displayed and made available very early on to enable agents of the candidates go through it thoroughly. And you have the statistics there, so it shouldn't be difficult to do this thoroughly. So if you're expecting X number of people from the regions, you should have the statistics. So where there are shortages, you should be able to identify this very easily. So I think that going on, we should spend time on the nitty-gritty. The register, as you know, is always a foundational document. It is the basis for an election. So it's always good to have a thorough review. For the party should be able to circulate this to the key stakeholders for them to do a thorough review, so that on the day you don't have omissions and missing names and so on.
We're wrapping up quickly, but I think in 2020 you introduced the regional coalition layer. Do you think it's been helpful, or it's made the process more bureaucratic?
Not at all. I mean, would you rather have 16 results coming in an orderly manner than have 260 or 275 results coming in? I think the regional coalition gives you, it makes the system very efficient and highly professional, in the sense that every region would come with results from the various constituencies within the region, and so it's very neat. So if you're getting results from OT, it's a whole package. If you're getting results from Central Region, it is a whole package, rather than get pockets. So you get 2 from OT, 1 from, it doesn't give you, it's not as efficient. This is a more efficient process. It's neater, it's tidier, and it's more professional. And I think the idea is that as you go on, you professionalize. And of course, if it don't broke, you don't fix it. But where you have to, put in place systems to ensure a more efficient and professional system, one should do that. And the regional coalition really ensured that we had a tidier process, a smooth and seamless process, and a more efficient process.
Is there anything new you are going to see in the 2024 election process? Any new introduction?
We'll let you know. I think the EC will be coming up with its program for 2024, and we'll make that known to the general public.
How is the process for the exhibition going so far?
So far, so good. And as you know, this is a very important step in our electoral process. It's important that the voting public go to the exhibition centers to ensure that their names are on the register and that the details have been fairly captured and so on. And so this is a very important part of the process. This year, as you know, we've added the system process, or more technology, like we did in 2020, where citizens could check their details within the comfort of their home. So what we are noticing is that more people are checking from their phones than going to, the to the centers. And I think it tells a story, because eventually I think we should reduce, we should do away with the physical checking. If most Ghanaians have phones and they are able to check their details in the comfort of their home, there's no reason why they should travel to their polling stations to go and check their results. Of course, the advantage in going to the polling station is that you know exactly where you are going to vote, and that's an advantage. But with the advent of technology, we should be looking at improving upon our systems, and it, of course, ultimately reducing the cost of elections, as you know. So far it's going well, and as I mentioned, you find that more people are using the SMS to check their results than the physical check, but it's going well.
So the district assembly elections will be coming up shortly. There are a lot of people who couldn't get the opportunity to register when they were doing the limited registration.
I don't believe so. I don't believe that a lot of people didn't get the opportunity.
I mean, some people still couldn't get the opportunity to register.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so, because I think anybody who made the attempt to register is reflected on our roll. And you notice that at the end of the day, there were still a few people in the queue, on the day of, on the day that the registration came to an end. But the EC issued a directive that anybody who remained on the roll should be allowed to register to vote the following day, and this was done. As you can imagine, our target was 700,000, and we exceeded the target with a little over 900,000. So I'm confident that anybody who was interested had the opportunity to do so.
Thank you very much. Maybe your final words before we let you.
GBC is doing a good job, and you should keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
And we look forward to a fruitful collaboration with you in 2020.
Thank you very much. That's the EC chairperson, Jean Mensah, speaking to us exclusively on GBC News. And so the figures are coming from the various constituencies, the various regional coalition centers. But what we have on the board here is one of the coalition from the Upper East region, which has all the constituencies in the Upper East region, and and what the various aspirants have. So my producer is telling me that they have all the figures already. So we are still here at the EC headquarters monitoring the event. Pretty much shortly, all the results will come in. The EC chairperson will make the declaration, and then we move to the Accra Sports Stadium, where the final declaration and fanfare will continue. Over to you in the studios.
Maurice Ogbete live from the EC headquarters, which is the place, the venue where the final true certified results will be declared of this NPP flag bearership race. We have put together our own provisional results, which we are sharing with you on our screens through this interactive app. So we've looked at the standings in Upper West region, and like I explained before, Maurice took over at the EC headquarters. These are not constituency numbers. These are regional numbers. So all the constituencies that voted, we put all of them together into regions, and this is the breakdown that it gave us. So Upper West region gave us these figures, and so we are seeing them on our screens. Dr. Baumia very much in the lead, 78.42. Mr. Kennedy Japong, 17.51. Former Agric Minister, 2.83%, and Mr. Francis Adai Nemo, 1.24%, polling just 77 of those votes. So this is the outlook for the Upper West region. Let's go to Upper East, and we'll also get an idea of how the region voted. All the constituencies in Upper East region gave birth to the chart you're seeing on your screen. First, on the ballot paper, the Honorable Kennedy Ejepong, getting 27.73% out of the total number of votes from the Upper East region that we have collated. Our provisional results mean that for all the votes that came in, 7,614 of those votes, 2,111 chose Mr. Kennedy Ejepong, putting him at 27.73%. His Excellency Dr. Baumia, from that same 7,614 votes, total votes cast in Upper East region alone, all the constituencies in Upper East together, he polled 5,218, representing 68.53% of all the votes for the region. Former Greek Minister Dr. Owusu Yakoto, 190 votes from across the Upper East region, 2.5%, and the engineer, Mr. Francis Adainimo, getting 95 of the votes, 7,614, and putting him at 1.25%. So these are our provisional results from the Upper East region. And we are slowly making our way across the country. It's a good tour. And here we see Northeast delivering for Baumia very, very massively. Dr. Baumia, very, very tall tower here in his, under his belt here, 99.14% of the Northeast region, according to our provisional figures, voted for Dr. Baumia out of 3,474 total votes cast that we have provisionally collated from the Northeast region. Dr. Baumia got 3,444, 99.14% for Dr. Baumia. Honorable Kennedy Ejepong did not get that figure at all, or anywhere near, 0.66%, 23 out of the total votes, 3,474, putting Mr. Kennedy Ejepong at second place with 0.66%. I'm going to pull up the figure for the former Greek minister, 5 votes only across the Northeast region for the former Greek minister, putting him at 0.14% of the total votes cast in the Northeast region. So this is a regional breakdown, not a constituency by constituency basis one. So Mr. Dynamo, 2 votes in the Northeast region out of the total 3,474, bringing him to 0.06% of votes cast, and that's what he got from the Northeast region. So we are seeing fourth placed Mr. Francis Adanimo, 0.06%, 2 votes out of the total for the region. And we are also seeing former Greek minister Dr. Owusu Yakoto, 5 votes to bring him to 0.14% out of the total number of votes cast in the region. His Excellency Dr. Baumia getting 99%, over 3,000 votes in his favor, almost winning the entire region. And of course, Mr. Kennedy Ejepong at 0.66%. So those are the provisional figures that we have for Northeast region. Let's move on now to Northern region. Once again, another strong tower for Baumia. We are seeing on our screens His Excellency polled 79.77%. Total number of votes we've collated from the Northern region is 10,605. Out of the number, 8,460 voted for Dr. Baumia. 8,460 voted for Dr. Baumia in the Northern region. And the number for Mr. Kennedy Ejepong, as we are seeing on our screen, from that total 10,605, 1,900 voted for Mr. Kennedy Ejepong, representing 17.92% of the votes cast in the Northern region. So those are the 2 headliners. Former Greek minister getting 169 votes from the Northern region, to put him at 1.59% of votes. And Mr. Francis Adainimo, the engineer, got 76 votes in all, bringing him to 0.72% of the total votes cast in the northern region. Our provisional results suggest that the total number of votes for that region was 10,605. Mr. Francis Adainimo got 76. The former Agric Minister got 169. Mr. Kennedy Ejapong got 1,900 of those votes, and His Excellency the Vice President got 8,460. These are our provisional figures for the northern region, and we are working our way across the country. Savannah also delivering a lead for Dr. Bawumia, and we'll see the figures shortly on our screens. He polled from the total that we collated from our provisional results. Out of 3,735, Dr. Bawumia got 2,603, representing 69.69% of total votes cast from the Savannah region. Honorable Kennedy Ejapong got 27.52%. 1,028 votes is what he got from the total number. Dr. Usue Friye, former Agric Minister, getting 65 votes out of 3,735, representing 1.74% of valid votes cast. And Mr. Francis Adainimo got 39 votes from the total number, representing 1.04%. So in this region as well, Mr. Adainimo came fourth with 39 votes. Former Agric Minister got 1.74%. Mr. Kennedy Ejapong in second place for Savannah region, and of course, His Excellency Dr. Bawumia in first place in the Savannah region, 69.69%. We are getting, we'll be taking you over now for some live details. Remember that the NPP communicated that the official declaration and the announcement of who the winner is will happen at the Accra Sports Stadium. Our correspondents are there and they are standing by to give us a feel of what's happening at the stadium now. Let's go peep into what the activities there look like, and then we'll be back to continue our analysis of the regional breakdown of the results that we have collated for you. So let's connect with our guys on location and see what they are up to.
Atmosphere here. We are at the Ohinechan Sports Stadium, the forecourt of the stadium, where in a few minutes the results of the primaries will be declared. The NPP has decided on who would be leading them come 2024 elections, and you can tell from the jubilant crowd that it's obviously the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who has won the race. It's been a keenly contested race between Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Kennedy Ejapong, MP for Asin Central. You could see very jubilant supporters here, those singing Jama song, those having loudspeakers here, jubilating. It's obviously a win for them, and today nothing can stop in their jubilation. It's the climax of the whole day's activity of voting, and in a few minutes, the results will be declared by the EC, who is a returning officer for the NPP primaries. We have on the days the party executives seated, waiting for the president, the vice president himself to come in, and waiting for government functionaries, top hierarchy of government and top hierarchy of the NPP to be seated. and then the results announced appropriately or accordingly. But all in all, it's been a peaceful election. There were no skirmishes. Voting was done relatively calm, and there was no skirmishes at all. It's definitely a deafening atmosphere. You can barely hear a thing. If one spoke to you, you wouldn't hear a thing. Baumia, the inclusive Baumia, our hope Baumia, foresight and visionary Baumia, action man Baumia, and ethical and principled Baumia, and what have you. With Baumia's win, the NPP says it's possible to break the 8. So I have with me an aspiring MP and also one of the jubilant supporters of Dr. Baumia. Obviously, Dr. Baumia has won the race. How are you taking the news?
I think it's a very good race, and it's a family affair. And it's a family affair. At the end of the day, both Canada, Japan, and other contestants, Baumia, all of them are one. And I can assure you, NPP will come together to form a formidable team to win and break the 8, inshallah, 2024. And it is possible. And with me, Honorable Ibrahim Sani Van Bell, for the first time in the history of Ghana, I am going to make a history. I am also not constituency. For the first time, I will crack and snatch the seat from the hands of NDC, inshallah, for the first time.
I wish you all the best in that. Your name, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Looks like the party is already well on its way for those teaming supporters of the NPP already gathered at the Ohinijan Sports Stadium, where the NPP's official declaration of its candidate for next year's election is about to take place. And back here in the studio, we are still here with guests and going through the entire process that brought us to this point. We put our provisional results together, and we are telling you how the candidates, the aspirants, fared region by region. We've already done the northern 5, and so we are coming further down south to have a feel of how we arrived at these national numbers that you're looking at. So I'll start from the OT region, which showed up in support of Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. He polled out of a total of 4,965, he got 3,591, representing 72.33% of all the valid votes cast in the OT region. So our projection, our collation of our provisional results puts Dr. Mahmoud Baumia first in the OT region by that percentage, followed by the Honorable Kennedy Ejapong, who polled 1,311 votes in the OT region, representing 26.4%. Dr. Owusu Efiye, his figures for this region coming to 36 votes out of the total. 0.73 is what he got in OT. And Mr. Francis Adainimo got 27 votes, representing 0.54%. So Mr. Adainimo coming forth once again in this region, in Uti region. Dr. Owusu Afriyie-Akoto coming third in the Uti region, 0.73%. And Honorable Kennedy Ejapong coming to 26.4%. And then His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, 72.33% in the UT region. Perhaps I'll do Volta, and then Laura and Doc, we can have some kind of analysis of what the figures we've looked at so far mean. And it's Volta region that pulled one of the surprises, according to some of the analysts that we've been listening to, with Honorable Kennedy Ejapong coming first for the first time as we are giving this analysis, and Dr. Bawumia coming second. So Volta voting for Honorable Kennedy Ejapong, 53.11% out of the total number of votes that we collated from our Provisional Collation Center, 11,015 votes. Honorable Kennedy Ejapong getting 5,850, putting him first ahead of His Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who polled 4,984, representing 45.25% of the vote. Dr. Owusu Afriyie-Akoto getting 115 votes from the Volta region, representing 1.04%, and Mr. Francis Adainimo getting 66 votes, representing 0.6% of votes from the Volta region. So once again, Mr. Adainimo coming fourth in this contest in the Volta region. Dr. Owusu Afriyie-Akoto remaining in third place with the 115 votes, 1.04%. But the surprise from Volta, according to some, is Honorable Kennedy Ejapong beating His Excellency, the Vice President, 53% to 45%. Any surprises?
Well, I think earlier we said that this could be as a result of a number of factors. One, that geopolitically the Volta region is more of a stronghold for the opposition and NDC. Over time, also, when NPP is in power, it does appear to many that Volta region becomes the disadvantaged region, because it does appear that when NPP is in power, the investments are more in other regions like Ashanti region and Eastern region. That has been the perception over time. So the thinking of the Volta delegates, from what we are seeing, would be, okay, so His Excellency Mahmoud is in power, yet the developmental agenda in the Volta region doesn't seem more enhanced. So much as they belong to a political party called NPP, the question is, who within the NPP would come and make our efforts more enhanced? And perhaps that is what fell into the laps of Kennedy Ejapong. Number two, you recall that Kennedy Ejapong had some lofty agricultural policies. And in his discourse, a lot of the coastal regions were supposed to benefit so much from the agricultural policy. Specifically in the morning when we got into the studio, you'll recall that when you were showcasing the profiles of each of the candidates, when you got to Kennedy Ejapong, he says that he's surprised that the Volta region is not getting so much leverage using agriculture, because he thinks that where they are positioned, proximity to the water bodies and proximity to the airports, that alone should have been a catalyst.
An attraction.
Absolutely, to enhance the agricultural fortunes. So I am not surprised that the people of Volta have rewarded him with these votes.
Laura, do you think it's a reward for Honorable Kennedy and a slight against Dr. Bawumia?
I was just trying to pull up the results for the Superdelegates Conference to just do a comparative analysis to see if they maintain the trend or is going to, but I'm having difficulty going it. They went around, both candidates went around selling their message. It's obvious whatever message Honorable Kennedy Ejapong sold to the delegates in Volta region got to majority of them. But when you also go to what you've shown so far, in places where His Excellency the Vice President wins, it's like there's a wider margin. But this one looks like it could have gone anyway. So it will also help to look at the Superdelegates Conference to see who lost or if the trend was maintained based on the superdelegates.
Because the argument has always been that the superdelegates are just a micro subsect of the bigger delegate number of delegates who would vote. So this is what Volta delivered on the day for Honorable Kennedy Ejapong and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. For the first time on this screen, we've seen the Honorable Ascent Central MP coming first in the regional contest. Volta delivered this for him. And it did not end there for Mr. Kennedy Ejapong. I'll go to Central Region and give us a similar story that's also developed there with Honorable Kennedy Ejapong. Of course, this is the seat. Can we call it his seat of government? Because Ascent Central is in the Central Region. So this is home. It's a home match for him. And the home grounds delivered a victory for Honorable Kennedy Ejapong, coming out to vote in the total tally as we have in our provisional results. 17,072 persons who voted, and 10,000 of the number and 828 voted for Honorable Kennedy Ejapong, representing 63.43% of the total that the region, Central Region, delivered on the day. His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia got 6,159 votes, representing 36.08% of the valid votes cast. The former Agric Minister got 47 votes from the Central Region, representing 0.28%. And Mr. Francis Adainimo got 38 votes from the region, representing 0.22%. Once again, coming fourth in the race. Dr. Owusu Yakuto once again coming third in the race. And the change we saw in the Volta region happening here in Central, again, Honorable Kennedy Ejapong beating the Vice President at home by 63.43% of votes cast according to our provisional results, as against His Excellency Dr. Bawumia's 36.08%. Once again, Loratu, any surprises here for you?
No, not at all.
Same for you?
No, well, clearly with our recourse to the previous the data of the Superdelegates Congress, what we see now is largely because in the Superdelegates Congress, I did not hear anywhere any report indicating that he had won in any region. I did not. So if that is true, if my thinking is right, then clearly there's something His Honorable Kennedy Ejapong that is doing right. And I want to tie it to his policies regarding
the coastal development.
Absolutely. And you see that in Volta, you see that in Central Region. And it is hinged on his policy of fisheries. And then the acclamation by himself that he has one of the biggest coastals within the West African sub-region, and that if there is enhanced investment in the fishery industry, the people in the coastal regions would benefit them more. Now, clearly, as I indicated earlier, politics is about communal and individual gains. So you get into a political enterprise with expectations that the community will develop. But within the larger community is you, the individual. So if a politician comes to speak to your expectations, tendencies are that you buy into the policies. And that, to me, seemed to be paying off for Honorable Kennedy Ejapong in the pictures that we are seeing for the Volta region and then the Central region.
Right. So, Dr. Bawumia, 36.08% from Central region, and the man whose region showed up to deliver for him,
maybe
Honorable Kennedy Ejapong, polling 63. 0.4%.
Maybe also for the central region. Apart from all of these, recall that that is Kennedy's own region.
Yep.
Beyond that, within the voting period, delegates from the central region had some protest against His Excellency Bawumia, that he had not made provisions for their transportation, whilst his Honorable Kennedy Ajapong had made provisions of.
So money could have been an influence.
300, yeah. But clearly, so even if money is, the conversation now is, was it just in the central region that His Excellency Bawumia did not what? Provide money for
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Is it the case that he did in other places? If he did not do in Volta, did he see this results come? Sorry, etc. Did he see
it's not even the whole of Central region. It's
Ascent Central is where we got that specific report.
Yes. So the question is, did he see this coming? So he felt that there wasn't need for extra investment.
So perhaps your argument, you're saying that Dr. Bawumia may have foreseen the chart behind us and said, listen, Central is for Ken anyway, so let him have it, so that I put my focus elsewhere. If indeed he does, or his team comes out to confirm or otherwise the allegations that have been leveled against him. But Central delivered for Kennedy Ejapong. So let's see how other regions delivered. Greater Accra, very, very close contest. And these are some of the interesting things we are talking about. We are seeing the figures, the chart on the screens, and immediately we see the short gap between the Honorable Kennedy Ejapong and His Excellency Dr. Bawumia. So if we put the numbers neck and neck, you can see how close
this
that
just like
was.
flipping Volta region.
52% living up to its tout
like
as a swing region.
Volta region. Means,
so it's make and make in Greater Accra. 52% from our total tally. 29,501 votes that were polled, 15,385 voted for Dr. Bawumia, bringing him 52.15% of the votes cast, and Honorable Kennedy Ejapong getting 13,913 votes, representing 47.16%. So once again, little movement there on the chart. Dr. Ifri Yakuto maintains his strong position in third place, winning bronze for the NPP in this contest, 0.41%, 122 votes in total from the Greater Accra region alone per provisional results, and Honorable Francis Adainimo getting 81 votes from the Greater Accra regional tally, 0.27% of the vote. So Volta went to Honorable Kennedy, Central went to Honorable Kennedy. The rest that we've seen have gone to Dr. Bawumia. Greater Accra went to Dr. Bawumia, but the margin was quite slim. Any comments? Mr. Adainimo coming forth once again in Greater Accra as well, 0.27. Honorable Owusu-Efiri Yakuto, 0.41%. Dr. Bawumia, 52%, and Honorable Kennedy Ejapong, 47%. So we are working towards how we arrived at these final tallies so we understand this better. We are expecting an official declaration of what those standings would mean. This is what we have provisionally tallied from across the country. All the numbers, the certified numbers from the regions, we have collated them into our provisional regional breakdown, and that's what we've been helping you to understand. For now, in total, as a final result, we have these figures on your screen. We'll be connecting very shortly once again to our team at the Ohene Sports Stadium, Accra Sports Stadium, and they will tell us what the latest updates are. Earlier, my colleague Sarah Ofori brought us some of the jubilant scenes of the supporters who have already gathered en masse, ready to celebrate what is widely accepted now to be the expected victory of His Excellency the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, in this contest to find a flag bearer for the NPP for the 2024 general election. And if the team is ready, let's go and have another peek at the sights and sounds from the sports stadium here in the national capital, Accra. We hand you over to our team on the ground there, and here's a feel of what's happening.
Hello, and we most welcome to the Accra Sports Stadium. This is where we're bringing you the concluding part of the NPP primaries. This is going to be the final declaration center for this particular event. And so, as you see me, I've been clouded by a lot of people, everybody excited and in the expectant mood, hoping to know the exact percentages that came out after the nationwide decisions by everybody. I mean, the delegates and the constituent executives. And as I'm here, I'm being flanked by a lot of people. And behind me, it's the high table where we see the days, where we see all the dignitaries line up. In some few minutes, you have been told that the 4 aspirants will be here before the sitting president will also join, and then other dignitaries as well. And so you have to stick and stay with us. I have colleagues lined up all over the country, some here, others beside me, and they will also be joining me. There are other fans here that will join me to also share their thoughts. But on the whole, from the morning, we've been bringing you all these things together for us to really understand how the process is for the NPP as they choose their leader for the 2024 general elections. And it looks like it's going to be the official declaration that will declare. But on the paper, it looks like Dr. Maodu Bawumia has been the leader. I have Sarah here, a colleague of mine, who will join me for us to have a check chat. Sarah, if you look at the excitement in the air, what really does it tell you?
It tells me that their candidate has won and won pants down. That was what they expected all morning, and it's happened.
Well, for the first time, a lot of pundits have had it wrong. A lot of people were expecting different results. At the end of the day, one thing is sure, that we need another party or a new face to match the biggest opposition party, that's the NPP. And so whatever declarations to be made here will have a significant impact on the 2024 elections as to who really will be leading the NPP. But from what we've gathered from the various coalition centers, it shows that Dr. Bawumia is in the lead. But as to the percentage, we are yet to be told here. So if you look at what is happening here, it's just like the fanfare. Are they really getting ready, or they are ready for the battle for 2024?
They seem ready because from all indications, they are saying Bawumia is from the north. He's also a Muslim, so he represents the Zongo community. At the same time, the Domo tradition. We are told it's in the NPP is the Dankwa Buzia and Domo traditions. And Dankwa Buzia have already had their turn, so it's time for the Domo tradition to take the loins of the NPP into the 2024 elections. So obviously, they think that Bawumia is a perfect match to match the NDC's John Mahama to break the 8. They say with Bawumia's win, it's highly possible that the NPP can break the 8.
Well, if you look at prior to the super delegates elections, we were looking at a stronger force. Then the unfortunate happened. That is one candidate defecting, saying, I am no more with the party. We thought it would bring cracks. But with these numbers, does it really tell you that they are more united than ever?
Definitely so, because prior to today's election, the candidates involved were made to sign a bond that whoever wins, they will all rally behind the person to campaign against the NDC. They think it's just an internal election. That is not the priority here. The priority is to break the 8, to match the NDC boot for boot and break the 8. So for them, it's not a matter of who won these elections or not. Whoever is representing the NPP, they'll rally behind the person solidly.
Well, viewers, we are here at the Accra Sports Stadium. There are lots of people surrounding us. Some wish they will give us messages, but we'll get opportunities for them to also come and tell us whatever is happening. But the issue is that in the next 5-10 minutes, we are expecting to see all the candidates lined up before the president himself comes. So some of them are here already. They have started coming in. So this is one of the musicians.
We see a famous gospel musician who always draws controversy. The guy behind Zafana Pania, Edini Yehu, he's giving them a rendition.
So viewers, we are going to their days, and then when we come back, we'll get some personalities here to just share their thoughts with us. So stay with that. Let's see what goes on the stage. When we come back, we'll get some of them to really talk to us. And so I'll get them to stand here with me. Come and stand here with me. When we come back, you don't worry. You also come and stand here. Come and stand here. Yes. So when we hear the song finishes, we'll come back for them to tell us how excited they are about this day and then the history that is being made. So let's enjoy a little bit on the high table. Then we come back to the studio and then get it. But first, before we do that, what is your name?
From Atajenfli.
Okay. And then you also, what's your name?
My name is Ibrahim Aluti.
Okay. So Abraham and Co will give us some messages, but let's enjoy a little bit from the high table and then we'll come back for more. So thank you very much. We are back here. And so now tell me, how happy are you to have seen today?
And I'm peaceful election NPP iron in there. I'm a near NPP move. They have some party in Yankwanina. The Yamias saw the Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, about flagbearer, I'm NPP 2024. Yes, sir. And could be a cassia and a Baba NPP. If you say Nimia Papa or Dr. Mahmoud Baumiamu, Yenimia Papa, Dr. Mahmoud Baumiamu, Yenimio to me. It's best like I'm Lancet when some of me on Sopa Panimo, Yafadamla 2024. I'm animating Kudim, Amagana, my Mestre, Papa on the Hocho, or some Gedimo Bia, 7 years, Obiat and was someone ender. To be a father Bible and Doctor Chi, Namlamedi or Penima 2024. Madam Munina, Ghana, my Munina Masi.
So we heard from him, and you also, what do you have to say? What do you have to say about today's event?
Today, we've made history as MPP, and what I want to say today is that from today, every party member should get prepared and vote for the party massively for the upcoming election in 2024. What I want to say again is that this party, we have a rich tradition, and we are going to exhibit the tradition to Ghanaians. Whatever problems that we are in, we are going to make sure we get hold of Ghanaians and we'll make sure we solve the problem up. That's what we have for Ghanaians, I believe. And it is possible. It is possible.
Thank you very much. And so these are some passionate fans here who are discussing with us. But Sarah, if you look at it, it seems they've forgotten that there is a bigger tax ahead. From what is going on, is it something that we can say is being spread across all the country, that this same feeling we are seeing in Accra, we can see it in the other regions, meaning that it will translate into votes?
Well, for the NPP, I can tell you they are loyalists. So as to whether this is going to reflect nationally or not. For them, the bigger target is the NDC, not what is happening within the party, not what is happening within the rank and file. To them, the bigger fish is the NDC, which they must conquer. So whether it's reflective now or not, because of the different factions supporting different candidates, you may not see excitement in regions where the other candidates won. But after today, I'm sure they are going to mobilize themselves and face the bigger fish, which is the NDC.
It is being said it is historic because this is the first time we are going to see a full Northerner leading the party. How big is this one?
It is. Like I was explaining to you earlier, when I interacted with some executives of the NPP, they said these were the guiding principles of the NPP, that it was led by the Dankwa, Buzia, and Dombo tradition. So if you look in the past, we've had President Kufuor who represented the Dankwa tradition. We had the president, current president Kufuor, also represented, I beg your pardon, that's the opposite. The president is representing the Dankwa tradition. The former president Kufuor represented the Buzia tradition. And now Bawumia is representing the Dombo tradition, which is hailing from the north, basically. So for them, they think that Bawumia presents a better face for the NDC to appeal to the masses, because they think that it's time from somebody who hails from the north, who is also a Muslim, and appeals to the people from the Zango to come and rule the nation.
So this is the story that is being told here every day. So right now we are seeing, and the more the numbers keeps growing, swelling here. The president is not in yet, but the days it's full of life. Now we are seeing musicians coming on board to display. With all these happenings, have we forgotten and that there was once upon a time a shock, a crack, that half of the party members have joined another group? It seems it's missing.
Well, it seems they've forgotten about that fact, but I'm sure the NPP has that in mind. For them, the target is today. Once their choice of candidate has won, they couldn't care less about anything. What they care most is to celebrate their candidate, which is Dr. Bawumia, who they believe can break the 8. The rest, tomorrow will speak for itself, or tomorrow will cater for itself. What they care for is today, and they are celebrating it, leaving no stone unturned.
Well, once upon a time, we saw Mr. Dubois leading the party. President Kufuor came. President Akufo-Addo is on. He's going to hand over the baton to Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. With all this, we've seen a lot that is being said about Dr. His pros and cons. We'll not talk about it now. But if you look at whatever is happening here, does it really mean that everybody has really endorsed, and that the last four, this thing that was done today was just to affirm? They know already within their hearts that they want Dr. Bawumia to lead the party, and so they just came to affirm it today.
Well, although the majority of delegates prefer Dr. Bawumia, you should also know that there was a significant number of delegates who also preferred Kennedy Japan, who also promised Bawumia to have a showdown with Dr. Bawumia. I must tell you that this race or this contest has been it has been keenly contested. I would say that Kennedy Japan gave Mr. Bawumia a run for his money, because in other constituencies, he won hands down. In other parts of the country, it was Dr. Bawumia who won hands down. So for me, it was a keenly contested race. But once the candidates representing the various factions appeal to their people and concede defeat and appeal to their people that it's time to rally behind the face of the NPP for 2024, I'm sure they will heed to their call.
Okay, so viewers, we're still bringing it to you live from the Accra Sports Stadium. This is our continuous coverage of the NPP primaries. Now they've selected. We are here just to get the official confirmation, and then the figures itself will come out. So some of the delegates are in the house now. Dr. Efriya Akoto is in the house. Dr. Efriya Akoto is in the house. Dr. Efriya Akoto is in the house. Whoa, this is a true democracy. Indeed, indeed, this is a true gentleman. He came, he saw it. Sir, what do you have to say about this gesture by Dr. Efriya Akoto?
I think it's honorable of him that after losing the elections, he concedes defeat and acts according to his words, or not just show in writing that he's going to rally behind Dr. Bawumia, but actually show it in action. You know, before the contest, they signed a bond to rally behind whoever wins. So I'm sure it is in that light he has come to concede defeat and show his magnanimous support for Dr. Mahmoud.
Democracy won. Democracy won. Did one. All right, DJ. Drop it. And I was saying that capella now. What's saying that capella there?
I'm already saying about Bawumia. What's your name about Bawumia first?
Digitization era.
Already.
Our beloved country has a son, a true patriot, a man who has the knowledge and capacity to create and transform destiny. This great man.
All right. Hold it. Hey, DJ, hold it. Monim, you hold it on to anyone, Sam. Now you declare the year. There, you drop your energy. Drop the next one. Drop the next one. Near more moon, near call. Man, ready to see seven call, man. Let's do this. Hey, Mama must have got together. 1, 2, what's it there? Tell me what happened. 2 send the mess. Mitio. Right. Hey, Mitio, what's it there? What's it there? Now come in, I'm in Angelina Sen, yes, I'll cut on the Mukawaka. I don't want to patabata, Penny Santino. Now come in, I'm in Angelina Sen, yes, I'll cut on the moonwalk. I don't want to patabata, Penny Santino. Mitio, everybody, let's sing it together. Oh, Chico. One finger in the air right now. Mitio, Mutadi, we're ready. It's NPP in the house. Is the crowd charged enough? Now come in, I'm trying Angelina saying yes, I'll continue Mukawaka. I don't. Now come in, I'm trying Angelina saying yes, I'll continue Moonwalk. I don't want to pay you something. Does that mean to me? Angelina, come here. I just remember the answer. Macarena de Mapuga. She go me. Oh, that's a very best answer. Macarena Mapuga. She go me. That's a super winning answer. Mitio, that's a congo. Oh, Macarena de Mapuga. She go me. That's a super winning answer. That's a congo in the Macarena who can dance. She go me. Angelina Kuto, Sasa Superuni Sasa, Macarena de Mapuka, Shikome, Angelina Cometo, Sasa Superuni Sasa, Macarena de Mapuka, Shikome, Yatubio, Sasa Superuni Sasa, Sasa Kongone, Macarena de Mapuka, Shiko, Sasa Superuni Sasa, Sasa Kong, more ready, somebody to best no. Ready? Angelina, to me, that's our Bobby. Round man, don't be shy. Do some 2, 3 steps to your back. The front. Wait a minute, girl. Don't forget to put your underwear up.
Boys in the house.
Left, right, front, back.
Boys in the house.
Now wait a minute, girl. Don't forget to put your underwear up. Now shake your belly, left, right, front, back. Now wait a minute, girl. Don't forget to put your underwear up. What's it there? Shake your belly, left, right, front, back. It's Angelina, good. Angelina the Kakwe. What's the music? No woman is Angelina Kuto, Angelina de Kakwe. What's the music? No woman is. Thank you very much. Wave your handkerchief, wave your handkerchief. Hey. More ready. In the dark with your shouting in the clock. We end the war. Me too. Olo Mombo, Casso, Prayer, Jago. Everybody, let's go, Chris. 1, 2, 3. Concentrate. Hey. Concentrate. DJ, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Before I go, I'd like to thank you very much for this opportunity. I was in the United States of America as of yesterday, but I said I was not going to miss this event. And so I flew all the way yesterday, and I'm here today, and I've witnessed history being made by NPP.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you, Prior. Thank you, Prior. Thank you so much. Prior, thank you, Prior. And the boy, it is true. Yesterday, when he was in the flight, he sent me a text and told me, bro, I'll be landing very soon, so I'll be part of the program. And thank God he came to join us. We thank you so much for your time. Choboy.
NPP, Osaya! NPP, Osaya! NPP, Missy in the Empire, in the party, no, in Sisaya Cassiano, Yadiaba area, Kukudu, na Yababa Yajumabi Waha, Yabacha, and this is the party is united and resolved to do the unprecedented by breaking the 8 years governance cycle.
Yeah.
In Penifua, a call against Yanina, in the Wabuna Baha. Are there any more in the house?
Shall we give it up?
Are there any more in the house?
Shall we give it up? Say a catch remu. Say Obunina Bebaha. Mumbai yedede mfama.
Mufadede sha. Adanimo.
Yeah. NPP is united than ever.
Yadika. Yadika yi bodia. DJ hold on.
Prepare for the form, Maya. DJ, prepare for the form, Maya.
Yadika yi bodia akoto every atramu. Bonsem kasia pa amanu. Na party mpanyinfo kukuda. Honorable John Bwedu, former General Secretary, Odusuwa, Yadede, Cielo.
That's right. I drink Cassia. Yeah, DJ. Where yo? Hey, out that pet outside, out that pet. Yo, hey, out that pet outside. Pet outside. Where yo? Allah. Where yo? Allah. Hey, Mugo de Allah. Mugo. DJ. Cha. Choboy. Choboy. The NPP is united and stronger than ever. I tell you. NPP is always united. Yes. And nothing as we are going into 2024. We will never break. 2024. Inshallah. 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 Wanna beba, yeah. Wanna beba, yes, no. Wanna beba, yes, no. We can hear you. I want to hear you. Wanna beba, yeah. Wanna beba, yes, no. Wanna beba, yes, no. NDC beba, yes, no. CPP beba, yes, no. PCP beba, yes, no. John Mahama, yes, no. Omiara beba, yes, no. Asiedu Ketia, yes, no. Fifi Kwete beba, yes, no. Wanna beba, yeah. Wanna beba, yes, no. Wanna beba, So now, you are introducing the national executive.
Have you poo-poo? Have you poo-poo?
DJ, hold on. Toboy. Now who say a high affair? A high affair no. Unim say na share. Toboy. It is the work of the national executive and the Greater Accra region. Mumba Musem Emma, the national executive of the New Patriotic Party. Fantastic General Secretary, National Chairman leading, together with National Organizer, Women Organizer, Youth Organizer, National Coordinator, First Vice, Second Vice, Third Vice. We now have fantastic. Choboy. Yes. We are in Greater Accra. Yeah, to you know, any party TV. One say fan in Chile. One Bebunu Madame for Okum come for Madame for Okum come. The Minister of Energy. Former regional a former Minister of Education. Now Minister of Energy. Honorable Martin Opoku Prempenapo Okum come Napo Go Grodo. Choboy. And penny for Shamwa. Ya framo baku Choboy. Baku. We have the regional minister for this region. The Greater Accra regional minister. The Honorable Henry Quate. The gentle child. Choboy. The gentle giant. The gentle giant.
Greater Accra Regional Minister.
Now we go to the national executive.
Is in the house. On watching this, you are the honor of Greater Accra. Regional Chairman. Regional Chairman. Divine. Onto Ago. Muja dada. Chairman Divine on to Ago. Regional Chairman for Greater Accra. We're moving on.
Facial expression. Keep them.
Yeah. Kukudu. Muamushaya ahaya fe kama. Ninina a national executive of the New Patriotic Party. Yabeda obie di Baku. The first. Yenina ya mami. Obatampama Kate. the National Women Organizer of the New Patriotic Party, Mr. DJ. National Women Organizer. Yeah.
Honorable Kate Jenfua, National Women Organizer. We're moving on. Also here in our midst is Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, and he hails from the north, Honorable Haruna Mohammed, aka Prof. Yadede Shianu. Haruna, please work for us. We're moving on. We're moving on.
The next person is the third national vice chairman of the New Patriotic Party. Honorable Buga Usman Masoud Buga. DJ. DJ, give us good songs, please.
Also in the house is the National Treasurer for the New Patriotic Party, Honorable Charles Jamwa, aka Dr. China. Yadede Fasciano.
DJ, give us good selections, please. Yes, now it's our national. Oh yeah, mommy. She's part of the founders of the New Patriotic Party. Yeah, mommy. Oh yeah, the national second vice chairman of the New Patriotic Party. Yeah, mommy, Talata, Rita, Asoba. Our former national organizer. The couple. Our former national organizer. Former national youth organizer. DJ. Choboy. Boya! Ya dada. Energy NPP. Yeah. Now me see MPP. Yeah. MPP. Yeah. MPP. Today is indeed a wonderful day. And now, hello. Before I proceed, I am not happy with the movement on the days. That's right. I am going to be very harsh on everybody if you are found not to be positioned where you are. I do not expect anybody to be standing in front of the dignitaries if you don't have any particular role. At the extreme side, please, can you position yourself behind the seats for me? Sandra, please go behind the days, Joseph Koyaja, please make sure everybody goes behind the days. It is a live program. The beauty of this event is being telecast live. That's right. Please, Deputy National Organizer, do your work. Move everybody behind the sitting arrangement. That's right. The same thing here to please. Nasara Coordinator, make sure everybody is positioned. That's behind right. That's right. The sitting arrangement. Nobody should be found positioned in front of the dignitaries. Nobody. This is a live program. Hide, please. Position yourself. You and Sandra, go behind it, please. I do not want to see anybody there. I do not want to see anybody positioned in front of the dignitaries. This is a live program, please. This is a live program. If you do not have any particular days, you are not invited. We are grateful to all the media houses. Me pomacho to me difa fe nyina no. Ye twa e won fidie so. Eba e wo TV so. Ye da ye media houses ni nyina ase. Ene dwumadie yi eye dwumadie sonko. The Electoral Commission will be declaring the final results in some few minutes. Eye aboto ye koto ye no. Electoral Commission, simpie we so, ya, and na oba be the nipa.